In this video I want to help you to be more successful on YouTube by avoiding a few mistakes that I did in the beginning, and I think especially the last one is something that many people are confused about when they start out, so make sure to keep watching until the end. Got a few sunrise shots here with the Mini 3. It's a really nice drone overall, but I would not really overhype it as much as people do right now. It is great, don't get me wrong, but yeah, we'll talk about that in an upcoming review. Was hoping to get some shots of a fisherman here in the morning with my 135mm. Didn't work out, there was no one, but it's still a really nice view. My first mistake, I would say, was that I did not watch my own videos enough, and I don't mean rewatching them directly after the edit to ensure that everything is right. I mean rewatching my own videos after a few weeks or even months, because it's really easy to look at bigger creators and try to copy what they do, even if it's not your intention to copy them, but you're just looking for inspiration, because these people are not like you. Maybe you watch Potato Jet, who seems to have a generally funny character, then you have Peter McKinnon, who is super entertaining, or Casey Neistat, who adds a lot of stupidity to his videos to make them more funny, etc. But likely that is not you. So instead of just looking at the videos from other creators and try to copy that, I would say it's a better approach to watch your own videos after some time, after you got some distance to the edit, and then really ask yourself, how can you make that better? How can you bring your own personality more into the videos? How can you deliver the content better? How can you tell better stories, etc.? Because this is ultimately what will make you a better video creator. It all comes down to becoming the best version of yourself in front of the camera, and I think that's something that we should strive for in all aspects of our lives. Car's coming. Time for some coffee. That's good. And my second mistake, I would say, was that I made videos that I was not excited about, and I would say that becomes a problem as soon as companies hit you up that want to send you products for review. The problem is not really making product reviews. The problem with that is that when you're a small creator and the first companies hit you up, you get really excited and you completely forget about if you actually need the product or if you actually like it. It doesn't mean that the product is bad or so, it just means that you are probably not excited about the product. I actually had a good example for that recently when Insta360 sent me the One RS before product launch to make a review, but when I received the camera and I had a look at the image quality, I was just not excited about it because it was just way too far away from GoPro and the Action 2, and that's why I ended up writing them back that I will not do a review, and I offered them to send the camera back. And I would not even say that the Insta360 One RS is a bad camera, because it has this 360 functionality, it has the 6Ku white functionality, so there is a lot of stuff that some people might be excited about, but I care a lot about image quality, and when I go out making a review of a camera where I know that I will not like the shots from this camera just because I care so much about the quality, then I will not enjoy doing the review, and therefore the review will also not be good, so that will hurt the product launch and that will also not be a fun time for me. So I think it was the right decision there to send the product back, and I would urge you to do the same. It's not necessarily about products here as mentioned before, it's really just about if you don't enjoy making a video, the video will not come out good and your audience will feel that. And I did this mistake in the past. I reviewed products that I was not particularly excited about, even if they were not bad. If products are actually bad, and I say that in my reviews. And I also made videos just because I saw that many people are searching for the topic, but it wasn't really something that I was excited about. If I rewatch my videos after some time, I can tell that I was not really loving doing this video, and that hurts your channel, so don't do that. Must get out of the sun. I already got one sunburn this week shooting the last video. Maybe you still see it a little bit, my face is still a little bit red, so better to get out of the sun. Yeah, I should bring sunscreen in the future. Another mistake that I'm definitely guilty of is becoming obsessed with YouTube analytics, and the big problem with that is that YouTube analytics can really hold you back from creating, because at first, if you constantly look at your analytics and videos just don't perform as good as you want to, you always feel bad. And if you feel bad, you procrastinate more, so you produce less videos. And it's also likely that your videos become worse because you just don't appear as happy in your videos as you would usually be. And what I learned about YouTube analytics by being obsessed about it is that it actually doesn't help you as much as you think, because you're missing the analytics of competing videos, so you never really know why your video performs good or bad. Like, I have videos on my channel that get hundreds, thousands of views, but I don't know why, because when I look at them, oftentimes the audience retention is actually not as good. And then I don't know, for example, if the audience retention of other videos is just even worse than mine and it's actually better than I think, or if it's really that there's something else going on what helps it. Sometimes have the impression that subscriber ratios and like ratios, etc. matter a lot, but this is also just guessing. Like, you never know for sure, and that's really the problem with analytics. But what I noticed over time is that what really matters a lot is the idea of your video, the title and the thumbnail. So I would suggest you to focus less on the analytics and rather spend the time on really working on the idea of your video by really figuring out what the value for the viewer is and what people are actually looking for, and then also come up with the best title you can to really convince the viewer to watch the video, and try to use the best visual storytelling that comes into your mind to craft the thumbnails for your videos. And of course, always try to produce the best video you can, deliver the best information or tell the best stories. Having the best videos is what makes people subscribe. So by focusing on these things, you pretty much ensure that your channel will grow over time. There's actually not that much to film around here, but driving a bit farther is usually quite nice. Okay, that splashed a bit more than I thought. Oh, there are like a bunch of dogs watching at me. They bark. Yeah, at least they're not coming, but yeah, let's leave. That actually looks even better here than the other place where I usually go. So you have a much better view of the mountain here. I should go more here in the morning to shoot time lapses and stuff like that. That's great, and that also leads me to my next tip, which is that you should just go out more. Like today, it's not like the best day where I got the most amazing shots, and I've been to this place here, or like the other lake at least, many times before. But what I've also noticed is that when I just stay at home all the time, I feel more tired and I'm not that motivated to do things. So overall, I'm more productive when I go out in the morning. And I would also say that it makes my videos a bit better, because when I go out, I feel happier and therefore I also appear happier in my videos. And it mustn't necessarily be something like I do here today, like going for sunrise every day in the nature or so on. You can also do just simple things like working in co-working spaces or cafes instead of just sitting in your room all day. That already helps a lot, and you also connect to new people and stuff like that. So who knows where that leads, maybe new video ideas or collaborations and stuff like that. So that's always good. And I would also argue that the more you stay at home, the more you watch your screen, so you also watch more YouTube analytics. And as we discussed before, that also makes you feel bad. So just go out more and enjoy life. It will make your videos better. I would usually write out of the frame now, so it looks a bit cooler, but I'm not doing that today because I figured out that restarting my motorbike too often without driving too much easily drains the battery, and then I probably won't make it back. And here's no one that helps me really, so let's not do that for now. That's really stuff that you only see in Asia. They're really walking around here and then on the road. Yeah, now you're waiting for my last mistake, and I would actually say it's more like a 50% mistake and 50% good, and that is that I focused only on production quality when I started my YouTube channel. Now, the thing is, in my specific case, it was actually okay because I did not intend to be a YouTuber when I started doing YouTube videos. I just wanted to become a better videographer. I wanted to learn how to use my camera, and I became really obsessed with production quality. Like, I wanted really that my shots look good. And while doing that, I also gave some tips on my YouTube channel on how to use cameras and how to make your videos look better. And that was ultimately also why many people started following me on my YouTube channel. So in my specific case, it was not a total total mistake. But on the opposite side, I would also say that if I would have focused more on storytelling or even better information and stuff like that, then I think my channel would likely do better already today. And that's even more true for many other channels, because let's be honest, if you have a channel that is not focused on camera stuff and tutorials, then it's likely the case that your audience just watches your videos because they want certain information or they want to be entertained with good storytelling and so on. And that's why it's very likely that you should focus more on telling good stories and delivering good information in your videos instead of just focusing too much on the production quality. And that's why I said at the beginning of this video that I think many people are confused about that, because at the beginning you don't really know if you should focus on production quality or something else, because all the other channels, the bigger ones, they look better than you, so you might have the impression that they are only bigger because of their production quality. And I would also say that production quality is not unimportant. You should definitely improve that over time, but it is not the most important thing in the first place. So if you only start with your phone or a weaker camera or stuff like that, it's perfectly fine even if you set everything to automatic, as long as you tell good stories and your information is good, or just one of those depending on your channel, then this is good enough to grow your channel in the first place. And after that, after you figured that out, you can focus on the production quality. That's also what I noticed, especially over the past 2 years on my own YouTube channel. Like, the more I focus on storytelling and delivering my information better, the better my videos perform, and I also get more subscribers by doing so. And that's why I recently launched my new course, Storytelling for YouTube, where I teach you exactly that. So if that sounds interesting, check that out. I will leave a link to that in the description below. I would say it's time now for me to drive back and wash my motorbike. Didn't expect it gets that dirty.
Dear Ted, are you waiting for me?
Yeah, Teddy, this is my bag. Not your bag, Teddy. What is that, eh?